Kunja Bihari. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse number 3. Everyone can hear me? And everyone can see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I believe recording is also on.
Yeah.
Okay. Gam cha dharma dugham dinam brusham shudra padahatam vyutsama shruvadanam kshamam yava Shamam Bivam Samachitam Gam cha dharma dugam dinam Brusham Shudra Padahatam Vivatsama Vadanam Shamam Yava Samashitam Gam cha dharma dugam dinam Brusham Shudra Padahatam Vivatsama Vadanam Kshamam Yavasamashitam. Synonyms: Gam, the cow. Cha, also. Dharma Gudugam, beneficial because one can draw religion from her. Dinam, now rendered poor. Brisham, distressed. Sudra, the lower caste. Pada Ahatam, beaten on the legs. Vivashtam, without any calf. Ashruvadanam, with the tears in her eyes. Shamam, very weak. Yavasam, grass. Ishitam, as if desiring to have some grass to eat. Translation purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principle from her, she was now rendered poor. She was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by a Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. Purport. The next symptom of the age of Kali is distressed condition of the cow. Milking the cow means drawing the principle of religion in liquid form. The great rishis and munis would live only on milk. Srila Sukadev Goswami would go to a householder while he was milking a cow, and he would simply take a little quantity of it for the sustenance. Even 50 years ago, no one would deprive a sadhu of a quart or two of the milk, and every householder would give milk like water. For a Sanatanist, a follower of the Vedic principle, it is the duty of every householder to have cows and bulls as householder paraphernalia, not only for drinking milk but also for deriving religious principles. The Sanatanists worship cow on religious principle and respect Brahmanas. The cow's milk is required for the sacrificial fire, and by performing sacrifices, the householder can be happy. The cow's calf not only is beautiful to look at, but also gives satisfaction to the cow, and so she delivers as much milk as possible. But in the Kali Yuga, the calves are separated from the cows as early as possible for the purposes which may not be mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. The cow stands with tears in her eyes. The Shudra milkman draws the milk from the cow artificially, and when there is no milk, the cow is sent to the slaughtered. These greatly sinful acts are responsible for all the troubles in the present society. People do not know what they are doing in the name of economic development. The influence of the Kali will keep them in the darkness of ignorance. Despite all the endeavors for peace and prosperity, they must try to see the cow and the bulls in happy in all respect. Foolish people do not know how one earns happiness by making the cows and bulls happy. But it is a fact by the law of nature. Let us take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principle for the total happiness of humanity. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. So, Prabhupada is mentioning about cows here. I mean, this verse particularly mentions a lot about cow and current situation in the world, how the cows and calves are being mistreated. Um, Obviously, milk is what it mentioned is the sacrificial ceremonies, the cows, all the milk of the cow, we make curd. We offer every day in Krishna Community Center curd to the Lord. We make preparation from milk, ghee. See, cooking happens in the ghee for the Lord. So things are coming from cow, and um, cow is such an important that Lord actually loves cows. That is the only reason. Why would not there be another animal? But why? Because Krishna loves cows, and the way nature has made them, everything from cow is auspicious. Even cow dung, cow urine. When I know in my childhood, my grandmother used to soak some jowar grains in the cow urine, and there was particular festival we used to cook that in cow urine, like jowar grains, and with some spices and salt and things like that. Little bit salt we need to be added or something she used to add, and we all used to eat that. That was particular special meal on the festival. So grains cooked in the cow urine. Cow dung is very very. I've been grown up in my village, seeing cow dung, making cow patties, and taking cow dung and putting in. We call it as a gotha, meaning where cows are kept. Bulls and cows. So still there are in my village. It feels so nice actually when you go tap the cow and be near around the cow because of the spiritual energy. And it is said 33 crores Devi Devtas reside within cow. Every time you see cow going on the road in the village, people just go and touch at the back of the cow and just, pay obeisances. Many of the old people in village, if cow is urinating, they just take and then they do like a charnamrit, take it, drink it, and put it to the head. So that is a culture, and that is a Vedic culture. It's not something which is like people may feel yak and things like that. But Prabhupada is mentioning these are the foolish people. They do not know the authority Srimad Bhagavatam and how much importance given to the cows. And the happiness is derived by pleasing the cow. Um, one cannot be happy by going against the laws of the nature. The problem is material civilization, current civilization, and I was reading yesterday actually in Bhagavad Gita, how people are degraded. I mean, they do not know actually. I mean, Kali Yuga, current age, people are degraded, but people don't know that we are going in the wrong path. This is a world of AI, artificial intelligence, and how this AI is going to capture the humanity one day and overpower. Even we do not know that, everything is becoming AI, AI, AI. But how this AI is going to become the cause of destruction, we do not know that. Um, uh, Prabhupada was writing in purport that material civilization or we progress in the civilization means how a human society currently is planning to make sense gratification better and better, like putting all the energy to um, make nice and nice gadgets, nice and nice equipments, or anything which is needed to make the sense gratification um, better and better. Um, um, there are different shower types currently. Even toilets are more advanced. You don't need to do anything, sit down and everything get washed automatically. I mean, there are things like that. I was hearing recently, somebody installed that, and they gave a party for others to come and show their new modern techniques. So this is how the civilization is progressing, and that is called as progress. I mean, all how a sense gratification can be made better and better and better, and how new equipments and gadgets can be manufactured to make the sense gratification better, make life easy, make it convenient, make it fast, make it quick. And if we little bit understand what Bhagavatam says, it's completely opposite. So Srimad Bhagavatam um, uh, and our spiritual path uh, does not, Prabhupada says sense gratification is required, but in a regulated way. If we have sense gratification which is unrestricted and not regulated, then that will cause us spiritual destruction. So material civilization, which is bodily civilization, goes completely opposite with spiritual development. Um, so that's why in Bhagavatam several times we hear that it's written, human life is meant for the austerity, tapasya, atatu brahma jigyasa. For what? Atatu brahma jigyasa. Who am I? Where I came from? And austerity could be different for different ages. We are not saying that we need to um, torture our body. That's not what austerity means. Austerity is like what is necessary for us to um, follow the rules and regulations of path of bhakti yoga or spiritual realization and continue on that path, voluntarily accepting what is mentioned in the scriptures to progress spiritually and voluntarily rejecting what is not favorable for bhakti. That is austerity. Nobody's asking to fast every day or torture the body or do things like that. Stay comfortable, chant the holy name, perform 9 processes of devotional service with heart and soul. Get mind fully absorbed, in holy name or in the services of the Lord as much as possible. And we try to restrict our sense gratification in regulated way. Nobody is asking sense gratification should be completely stopped or things like that. Prabhupada said sense gratification is required. It is a need of the body. It is need of the it's a need, but that need has to be regulated. If it is unregulated, then that distracts us. Anything if you do in an extensive way, too much, then it causes a destruction. What can be done? We are in a human body. We have a tongue. We need to eat food stuff. We cannot eat same thing every day. I mean, there are devotees who are very austere about food. Obviously they can perform that austerity and they can please the Lord. And Lord is not like saying everybody should do only this, right? And it's a best for us to analyze our own self and see what can be done, what can I do more, What can I do to come close to Krishna? At the end of the day, what does it matter is coming close to Krishna, remembering his holy name, chanting his holy name with attention, getting absorbed in the holy name, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotees, nine process of devotional service, performing deity worship. Any service is given, performing that service with grateful heart and humility. So if these qualities are getting cultivated and day by day we see that progress is happening, then that is nice. Krishna is pleased. Um, so coming back to the topic, right? The cows and milk, which is coming from cow today versus milk coming from earlier days, and now that's why we have ahimsa milk, where cows are not forced to deliver the milk by putting some machines, or they are not being pressurized. When cow is happy and cow gives the milk very happily, a lot of milk can come out. Now also in I know in my village or in everywhere, I think wherever um, proper cultural things are getting followed and a cow is very respected and worshipped. First of all, they leave the calf, and the calf goes and drinks the milk from the cow, and once the calf is satisfied, then they take the calf away from cow, and then they draw the milk from the cow. That time cow is very happy because calf is fed. What does she will do with this extra milk? She's produced so much of milk. For what purpose? If her child is happy, then why she would not be happy? She said, okay, you take milk now, my child is happy, I am happy, you take the milk now. So this is basically Vedic culture. Not just get the cow, give the birth to the calf and separate the calf and give it to the slaughterhouse, and then put a machine and start running more and more milk, give the hormones, give the things to the cows, and so that she can give more and more milk. It's all business, it's all torture to the cows. um, in Prabhupada's pastimes, when Prabhupada was here, one of the devotee mentioned to Prabhupada, these they add fish oil in the cow and things like that. Prabhupada said, what can be done? This like so much degradation happened. So that's why we get the Movile 2% milk, A2 milk as much as possible, because it's when we researched, we found out that it is less pasteurized. It's more natural form of the milk. I mean, obviously they they still pasteurize it partially, but not like other kind of milks, right? And then you can see that uh, creamline milk has that yellowish color, like our Indian. In India, when we take the milk and we boil it, the nice yellow cream comes on the top. It doesn't. It's not a white. It's yellowish. um, so it's more natural, closer form of the milk, and that's what we try to follow. I mean, eventually, if Krishna's willing, if we have a cow here, it's not easy to maintain a cow because cow such a cold weather and things like that. In Ypsilanti, they have a cow barn right now. Karuna Sindhu Prabhu and all other devotees, and they have a cow barn. I don't know the current situation, but when I no, last year there was a cow barn and they were taking care of cow. Actually, I went there, saw the cow, patted some cows and things like that, which Dev Madhav Prabhu has, and I'm sure it must be there also now. They, you know, taking care very nicely, sincerely, and screwing. So, um, if cows are pleased, Krishna is pleased, and that is one of the most important thing, to please Krishna. How can we please Krishna? Krishna says, if whatever Krishna likes, if we do it, then Krishna is pleased. Patram pushpam phalam tam, Krishna says, if we do it, he is pleased. So there are many devotees who uh, runs many initiatives and drives to take care of the cows. If not here in India, they donate. And uh, one of the devotee I was remembering, Bhakta Avatar Prabhu is very, very, very affectionate and caring about the cows. He loves cows. Um, and one of the devotee who used to come here, pharmacist, his name is Patel. He is also very, very affectionate towards the cows. And anytime there is there anything for cow, he comes and he got one of the cow during our Janmashtami in Cascade Park. Actually, a peacock and cow we brought. So he only arranged it. I'm forgetting his name. Um, but he only arranged
Deepak
that.
Prabhu. Deepak Prabhu.
Ah, Deepal Prabhu, amazing devotee. And whenever we talk, and he talks about book distribution and cow. So there are some devotees who are very, very, and that's how Krishna is inspiring them, and they are doing service in that way. Many centers, and in India also, it's basically, current government is doing a good job to not allowing cow slaughters, and at least that is a good part. Sanatanis are trying to protect cows and not getting cows killed, so which is very, very important and essential. And that's why if cows are happy, Krishna will be really pleased with that endeavor. um, there is a big goshala in Vrindavan. So many thousands of cows are taken care. uh, uh, and everywhere in New Vrindavan also we go, there's a cow barn, and how cows are taken care nicely. It seems like, yeah, we can have a cow and do, but it's very, very difficult actually. It's a austerity to maintain them. But at the end of the day, what we do, why we do, is just to please Krishna. So a big contradiction we find today, like, on the name of economic development, how this ignorance actually driving that. Meaning, if I want to become, I say, okay, all the diseases should be gone, people should be suffering free, um, people should be able to have nice family, nice house, and enjoy. That is basic principle of material civilization. When material civilization is growing, that means in the growth of sense gratification. How artha, kama, dhamma, moksha, basically these are the four things. Which is what, in case of Prahlad Maharaj, when Skanda and Amarka, that's what they were trying to teach Prahlad: artha, kama, dhamma, moksha. But Prahlad was not interested in that. Prahlad was interested in bhakti, and he used to always remember Lord Krishna, Vishnu, and he used to tell everybody, and to the teacher also, our real dharma is not to do artha, kama, dhamma, moksha, but it's a bhakti. Bhakti is essential, and that's our real root, which breaks actually, which is completely opposite. Completely opposite from the path of bhakti is the artha, kama, dhamma, moksha, where artha, kama, dhamma, moksha, which keeps in me in the center. How can I become better? How can my nation become better? And Prabhupada says, when we see me and my family members and my nation and my country, that is called as an extended sense gratification. Prabhupada used that word particularly in the purport. My self sense gratification is what I need, what I want, and extended sense gratification is something my relatives. How can I give something to my relatives? How can I give something to my county? How can I give something to my city, to my state, to my country, to my people, my community? Again, I, me, and mine, that's in the center. I am happy because my community is happy, because if I feel I see them happy, then it gives me a pleasure. That is a form of extended sense gratification. But when we put Krishna in the center and saying, what can I do to make Krishna happy and Krishna's devotees happy? That is a real happiness. That is a real service, because it connects with the soul, not with the bodily or material conditioning. I mean, at the end of the day, our mind is material, our false ego is material, intelligence that we use within this body is also material. And mind, intelligence, and false ego has nothing to do with the soul. Soul is all pure, and it's an incompatible situation. Prabhupada says, when spirit soul, which is full spiritual potency, is staying residing in this body, and somehow this body and soul are connected. Soul is connected with the body and staying in the region of the heart, but soul is all pure. Soul has nothing to do with any matter of within this body, neither mind, neither intelligence, neither false ego. So soul has an individual identity and nature. But Prabhupada writes in purport that when we try to identify with the body, and actually pains and pleasures are coming from our mind, and main reason is false ego. It's a very thick layer, because false ego makes us identify with the body. False ego makes us think that I am this body and not the soul. But as soon as false ego, that's why it's a last layer, and it's very, very difficult to overcome. But as long as we understand that where the false ego is coming, if somebody is saying something, I become hurt. If somebody says a little bit of thing, oh, I'm doing why this person, that false ego actually makes us think that way. There are a number of pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, where some devotees are getting blasphemed, and they said, they are right. I am like this. What can I do? Uh, at that time, they are humble because they know what their mind and what their material mind and false ego and intelligence is doing. That's how the nature is. That's how the material world is. But the soul is pure. Even if there's something, they don't take it personally. They feel, yes, you are right. The material world is like that. My mind is like that. My false ego is like that. And how many of us can claim and honestly agree that mind is so naughty and so rascal? And we feel like I really don't want to be what my mind is thinking. I really want to be pure devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, serving Krishna and his devotees. But mind is so much, brings like many things in place, and you start thinking what a rascal person this mind is. you know so whole path of bhakti yoga is to purify that mind by chanting the holy name, performing devotional service. I mean, once the Prabhupada writes one line, as soon as the mind is purified, super soul is already reached. There is no material mind at that time. It's getting dissolved, and you are in touch with super soul. You are actually in touch with, means like you are actually realizing the super soul, and spiritual identity is revealed. Liberation from material conditioning is gone. So, um, coming back to the point, right? Material civilizations versus spiritual uh, upbringing, and that's why Krishna Community Center and all the temples within ISKCON is trying to practice spirituality, which Prabhupada has given us, to the extent of its most purity. You know, message from either cow, and try to use anything coming from cow with the utmost, with good intentions and heart as much as possible. All natural things, no chemicals, nice milk and things like that. Earlier we used to cook, now we are using ghee all the time, right? Um, and slowly, day by day, if we desire, we will have cow also, if Krishna willing. If somebody comes in, I don't know what's going to happen in future, but it may happen. We don't know. Think about in Krishna house when we are there. With Did we ever imagine that we'll get a church like this? We'll have a temple. We'll have a big things like that. And at that time, nobody imagined, we'll get this much property or anything like that. Krishna arranged and Krishna provided, and things are going on. So we don't know what's going to happen in future too. Nobody even thought that Krishna house would come. We were doing in church program on weekly basis, and nobody thought we'll have our own center. We got one center, but nobody thought just within couple of years actually, 2022 and to 2024. 2022, I think we got, you know. Within just couple of years, we Krishna blessed us with this property, and now we are planning for installation, which is like so quick, right? Um, Obviously, congregation has to increase, and we are praying. And Krishna has a plan which Krishna will execute. We are just servants and try to do the best we can in Krishna's service. So with that, I'll take a stop here. It's already 8:32. Um, we can take if there are any comments or questions.
A sincere prayer to get us a cow in Krishna Community Center. Please.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
It's okay.
We should have a cow, definitely.
Please, one.
Okay, we'll end here.
Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.